Hello.
Okay, so we have Irene here, all the way from Kampala, Uganda. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anne, for inviting me to your podcast, Hot Flashes. I'm Irene Ndagire. I'm from Uganda, and I'm the founder of Women's Health Foundation. It's an organization that advocates for women's health, and mainly our target is post-reproductive health, which is more of menopause. And we've been in existence since 2014. So you would ask myself, how did I come, or how did it start? How did we think of menopause? Practically, my mother, she struggled with menopause, and I'm a physical therapist myself.
Okay.
So I see a lot of patients with bone-related dysfunctions. So my mom, with the mood swings, would even call her military police. That is how far it would be. Every time she would come back home, she would be quarreling and would be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Wait, I need you to stop. I need you to tell me that again. You said your mom would what? We have a straight bad connection. So you said your mom would what?
My mom went through menopause, and she had a lot of mood swings and would end up calling her police at home. Why? Every time she would come, she would be so angry, she would be moody, and she would not be approachable. So for us, we didn't know what was happening when we were growing up. So so everyone said, Mommy is a police, you know, you have to take off when she comes. Or you hear her maybe opening the gate and you're like, oh, Mommy's back, let me run and do this. So by that time I couldn't understand what it was.
Okay.
And then after studying physiotherapy, I was like, because I'm seeing a lot of patients, with especially elderly women, with a lot of depression, you know, like because here in Kampala, with menopause, most men are unfaithful to their wives. So this woman would walk into my clinic, and this woman would come into my clinic when she's crying, when she's depressed. Then you'd ask her, what's the problem? Yes, I know you have osteoarthritis or osteoporosis, but there is more to this. What is going on? Then she would open up, you see, my husband is unfaithful. She got this young person because from young, no longer sexually active and all that. So this depression that women are facing in Uganda, it's silent. They cannot even share about it in the community. So I was like, if 1 or 2 people are complaining of that, then you go to 10, 100 women you are seeing, they all have the same problems. Some like, oh, there's a problem here. So I was like, let me start something up for women, especially elderly women. Though in women's health, we also look at these young women who have just given birth, who are facing postpartum issues. And then that is how Women's Health Foundation came up. I have a team that I work with in Kampala. It is so hard, as I told you, as I shared with you, that I don't have any funding. So I have Sonia Physiotherapy Clinic. The money that I make from Sonia Physiotherapy Clinic, it's the one that supports women in the community. So we go into different suburbs of Kampala, we engage churches. First of all, the local leaders, and then we tell them, do you mind if you give us your women? We talk to them about menopause. We teach them about physical exercises and what they should do, or they should know about mental health or the depression. In case you have depression, you come to us, come at Women's Health Foundation. We can talk to you, we can counsel you. So we are doing more of counseling here. So I was so excited when someone called me and someone wrote to me like, Anne, and she's like, please, do you mind being hosted here and share more about Menopause Uganda? Yes.
Well,
that's how we are at the moment.
You made a splash on Twitter because you posted about you joined Twitter and you posted about an event you had on July 16th where you discussed mental health and bone health. But then you posted some photos of a march you had in 2020, which the march itself is unusual, but you had men. You said we needed men there. So I'm curious because now you tell me that a lot of the men cheat. So what men were involved in the march and how did that march come about?
So how did I invite these men in? We were like, a woman is not alone. We have, some of them, they have their partners. So if the men don't understand what is menopause, trust me, they'll keep cheating on them. And if they cheat on them, they'll bring HIV into the family because they'll look for these young people. So in the long run, this poor woman is at home and the man doesn't know exactly what she's facing. Actually, it has broken a lot of marriages here. And in my physiotherapy clinic, I'm able to treat even men. The men will come in and ask you, Irene, what do you think of my wife? She's no longer sexually active. She's moody, and me, I'm thinking of getting someone else. You know, it is normal to us here. If you talk to a woman, for her, it is normal for a man to cheat. But for me, as Irene, I don't support that. So the best way to get to these men is for them to understand that it is okay for this woman to go depression, but how marriages don't grow. It doesn't break marriages because of this. It's a natural transition that every woman has to go through. Yes, please. So we invite men to come in. Even on Saturday when we had our menopausal talk, you saw that many men were in. So we're like, this movement is moving on well. So the more we talk to spread out this awareness and the more we involve men, I'm sure that people will come to recognize and say, yes, it is fine. Women have to transit through this, and it's not for long life, it's for a short period of time. That is what I think. Yeah.
And it sounds like you're much more than a physiotherapist. It sounds like you're kind of a therapist too to some of these people that are coming. But are you doing like pelvic? Yeah. It seems like you're doing a lot. You're going above and beyond the call there in Kampala. What's it like? What's it like, Irene? Like with doctors, like gynecologists, do women have the care? Do they have doctors that know about menopause that can help with things like hormone therapy or lifestyle?
Yes, they do. Our gynecologists, they provide the hormonal replacement therapy, but unfortunately, the vulnerable woman, they cannot afford it. It's very, very expensive. For example, if you are to do hormonal therapy and they ask you for 20 pounds, seriously, a person who is not working or she's digging at home or she's a market vendor, how is she going to raise that 20 pounds? So it's a bit expensive. And then what are we doing? Women's Health Foundation. At the moment, what we are doing, we are teaching these people that nutritional supplement, because we have local food here that can really support these women. We have soya. You've heard about soy. So we have the seeds, we have soya kawa, it's like coffee. So people make it locally here. And most of my patients that have, interacted with, or my women that have interacted with, we are able to do what? We've been able to conquer hot flashes through those local remedies. And then there's another food stuff that we eat. It's a yam. It's a kind of yam, but for it is white. So we've been able to tell women, please, if you have this menopausal hot flashes, night sweats, those heats, please eat as much as you can. And it has been so good, and it has been so productive. Yes. So the gynecologist who can afford it. Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. So you're doing soy. You said there's a special soy coffee that you make there, and yams. We do hear that if you eat yams, it helps with hot flashes. Yeah. And okay. And what other things are you advising women to do to help with their symptoms?
Sorry, I beg you.
Sorry. What other things do you advise?
I beg you.
What did you?
On nutrition or other activities. So maybe if sorry.
What other things? What
was the question?
What other things are you advising? Do you advise them about exercise to help with symptoms as well?
Yes. Yes, we are doing more of aquatherapy because it's interesting. Aquatherapy, people here, as old as they are, they don't know how to swim. So it's an activity that being initiated into these women. They are elderly, 70, 60 years, 50 years. So I do that every week, at least for 1 hour, every Wednesday. Even now today I'm from hydrotherapy. You can see my hair is so but I know that. So when I go for swimming, I take them and I show them which exercises to do. Yes, and then we encourage more of walking and then exercises. So when we go into the menopausal talks, we are able to show women which exercises they should do. And then for the pelvic floor, we also teach them about pelvic floor. I was lucky and I got a scholarship under Mandela Washington Fellowship. It's in the US. So I went there and they trained me more into women's health. So I've been able to utilize the skills that I got from that side to here to train women on pelvic floor exercises. So it has been so wonderful. And we are trying to put this exercise activity into their heads so that people can embrace exercises. If I can tell you something which is interesting here, if the people they see you walking, they're like, is she broke? Is she poor? And you're like, no, I need to exercise. I need to keep my cardio very well and I need to be in shape. For example, I've just given birth, but the weight is too much. I'm trying to do as much as I can. I walk and exercise, but the weight is refusing because I have to eat and breastfeed my kid. So that is the mentality people have here. Exercises is not really important, but then we have to keep teaching them the use of exercises and how to keep fit and how to look beautiful. Because if your husband married you when you are 50 kilo or 50, or when you are slim, and then after giving birth to 4 children, you are bulging, you are big, even yourself, you don't feel beautiful. So we encourage people that keep exercising, do as much as you can, and then instead of taking a motorbike, just walk there if you can. Yes, please.
Do you, and what other symptoms do you hear women complaining about? What other things did they talk about to you?
It's mainly the hot flashes, which is the biggest issue, and the heat rush, and then the night sweats. Someone will tell you, Irene, you know what, at night I was practically sitting and my husband was just looking at me like this because of the heat. Then that's when the nutritional supplements comes in. And then we have more of sexual, the libido goes down and people are not sexually active the way they used to be. And then they are scared of leaving them. Here some women are not working, so being that they're housewives, they're dependent on men, and that one alone scares them. So even we help them with some local herbs that can help them to have more of the vaginal fluid and all that. We do it. Yeah, you don't need those other, they're called what? Encourage women, you drink this and this, it will help. And it helps a lot, other than the lubricants. Because the lubricants, they can't afford it. So for us, we have the local herbs. You tell a woman, do this, drink okra, drink this, and then it helps them. Then the other issue that women complain about, it's more of pelvic pains and shoulder pains, and then low back pain. And those are cases of osteoporosis. Most of them, they have that before they go into menopause. It will help them in the future. So we engage even women who are younger, who are in their 30s and 20s, to start taking nutritional supplements to help them. Then the other symptom they have is more of mood swings. Women are presenting with that. Even us, the therapists, they will talk to us with those mood swings. Today she comes in happy, the other day she's off. But then you're like, I understand what you're going through. Yeah, yes.
What are some of those, you mentioned those herbs. I'm interested in what herbs you describe for women with libido. Yeah, that's really interesting. So you said okra, to eat okra.
Yeah, we eat okra.
What else?
Okra is really, we have okra, other plants. we have some greens that I don't know its names in English. We are trying to look for their names. And then there is okra. There is, which are how can I put it in our, there is the aloe vera. Also, it's very good, the white part of it. And then we have even other natural fruits like mangoes. Keep eating as much as possible. But then the green herbs, I don't know their names.
Okay.
Maybe next time when we have another talk, I would have done a lot of
next time we talk.
that. Yes.
And they're only in Uganda, right? Like they're local.
Yep.
They're local.
I think I think even other countries might be having it, especially African countries. They might be having them.
Okay.
Yes, because I've talked to some friends in Kenya and they tell me they use the same.
Okay.
So I think they are common. There are some herbs that we can use.
Okay. In your language, what does menopause mean? What? Because sometimes in different languages,
in my language, in my language, it means omukazi alekedda ogenda mu nsonga. It's a long one. It means you've stopped menstruation. So it's omukazi alekedde ogenda mu nsonga. Yes, that is it. Nsonga is menstruation.
Okay, it's very to the point.
Omukazi is the woman.
Okay.
So alekedda means they've stopped. Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very
and
point.
Then and then we also have the attitudes of menopause in Uganda. What is their attitude? It is still poorly understood here. People don't know it. Actually, women, they just see these changes in their lives because no one has come out to tell them that you know when you reach this phase of life, you are supposed to experience ABCD. So they have no clue of what's happening to their lives. Then we have the women are silent about menopause because they don't want to be mischarged. Here, it's so funny. Someone will walk into you and say, you are old, just like that, which is an insult. So I would rather keep quiet and I don't share my age because I know someone will be like, oh, you are old. Like, for example, here, when you finish university at the age of 23, 25, and then someone says, you finished school. If you finish school, you're not married. Hey, you are going to become old. And you're like, really? Life should not be about giving children or getting married. It's about, there is more to life than those two elements.
Yeah.
So people are still, yes. And then we have menopause in workplaces. People are discriminated at their workplaces because we have the element of when you are forgetful, and then women are not able to remember what their bosses told them, instead of the boss understanding that, yes, this is a competent worker. She's going through this phase of life. It's for a short time. How can I be supportive? So we don't have that, and we still need to go into offices. We wrote to one of the human resources organization to see if they can allow us to enter into their systems to teach these women. And the Ministry of Health is not really talking about it, the government. And if the government is not talking about it, there is no way they're going to be a budget for these women. Yet they are struggling silently. And then we have the attitude of stigma. They don't want to talk about their age. There is a lady that I talked to, she's one of my top people. I asked her, because she's 65 and she's in the top places. So I talked to her if we can be given an opportunity to go and talk to the big people. Then she said, Irene, I'm not old. And I'm like, no, I've not said that you are old. I'm telling you that, you've gone through menopause. How can we make menopause a priority in our country? So if someone gives you that attitude by saying I'm not old, you just know there is a blockage. You cannot go further. So still, there's a time I went to the Ministry of Health and I was like, like in a room, there was a meeting and you are introducing yourself. We're dealing with menopause, and someone told me, you are a young person. Why are you fighting for these elderly women? I'm like, no, they need to be heard. They need a voice. They need someone to stand in the gap for them, which we don't have here. So I hope with the more we'll move this movement and the more they will get to know that really menopause is there, and how do we do, because we are still doing the research, because there is no research which is done on menopause. Currently, we are collecting data from different suburbs, and we are putting up everything. Hopefully soon we'll publish our first menopause research, and then we share it with different people. So maybe they will be able to see, oh, does it exist? So, and I'm glad that you are also willing to help us spread the news about the research when it comes out.
Of
Yes,
course.
so,
I'm curious, I think coming from the West, we would think, oh, in Africa, they're going to respect elder women and their elders. The women will be like, but it sounds like it's a patriarchal society, and women still fear getting old. Like there's not some situation where women, That's interesting. That's really interesting. And what about, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Okay. What about other African countries? Are you seeing anything happening in other countries around you? Any movements for menopause?
There are few people really talking about menopause in Africa. We've tried to research and see which other countries we can coordinate with. We've seen some organizations in Ghana. We've seen Ghana and South Africa, I think. They're doing something that we really need to engage and see that this movement can move. How can we do it? And for us, being that it's a young organization that it's individually supported, sometimes it's really hard to go milestones. So we really we want on other partners. How can other people partner with us, and we see if this movement can move? And especially in my country, we really, really need it. We need the Minister of Health to put a budget for this elderly, because a lay person cannot do it. And then we are also elderly women. Have you heard that?
Pardon? Younger
sessions. Women. We want to start a gym sessions for elderly women. Recently, we got one of my patients just donated a treadmill and said, you know what, Irene, if you are really, he's a man, imagine a man of 65, and he just gave us a treadmill. He said, you can start here. So we want to start that at least every week. Women can walk in and they do some exercises. And in that way, we are doing a lot of counseling and sharing stories. And then they know I'm not alone. If I'm facing this, or if they hear a story from another person, they are able to do it. To say, yes, I can do it, I can go through it no matter what, and as long as I'm still happy and you don't feel old. Yes. I hate that word, old.
I hate that word too. It comes at you before you were ready. Like I was just young. Yeah,
And you are not old. People are not old.
I know.
Yes. So okay. And then maybe what I also wanted to share with you is women's voices on menopause in Uganda. What is limiting us is more of the support from the government. And then we have the supplements are very expensive, because, for example, I encourage women to take Well Woman. Well Woman is of maybe £10 every month. But then some of them, that, as we've said, for us, we are reaching out to these women who are vulnerable, who cannot afford hospital bills, who cannot afford any medical pills. So the supplements are very expensive, and then there is no specified place for treatment in my country. So you will not say maybe this health center is for menopause. So we really want many government and other supporters to help us and set up something for these women. Yeah.
Okay, you're getting started. Are you are you hoping to speak to the government? Are you hoping to do some of that work to lobby the minister?
Yes. We are trying to write a policy. We are seeing what the UK, how they did it. Was it last year? How they moved into the parliament and they bombarded them with that. We are like, we also can do it here. So we are trying to see how those the women in the UK, how did they do it? How did they write the policy? And then we see how we can approach our Ministry of Health to see how they can support the menopausal women.
Is there any talk about the positive aspects of menopause? You know, like some of the wisdom and clarity and sense of self. Do you get any sense of that from women?
I do. Some are like, yes, this has to happen. I have to go through this, but the majority is more of negative because of the symptoms they are facing and they are unaware. So I believe that if they really get to know this information early enough and that happens, their attitude will change, and then it will be more of positive, and then they will say, I'm experiencing this, it's okay, it's normal, it's part of life. Because before I was young, I moved to adolescent stage. From adolescent, I moved to reproduction. From reproduction, I have to go to post-reproduction. So that is what I tell my women, that it is normal. You have to go through these phases of life, either you like it or not. We just have to accept that, because if you don't accept it, you are going to go into depression, which we don't want. Yeah. Depression is dangerous.
Is depression a problem in Uganda? Yeah. Is it a big problem in Uganda?
It is. It's a big depression, and here people are struggling silently. They cannot talk. As I've been sharing with you, they are dying in silence. They cannot talk about it. And then being that they cannot even share with their husbands that, you know what, I'm going through this phase of life, and the husband is not supportive. So definitely they are facing this depression, and some of them, you can see it on their face. They look older than their age. Someone tells you I'm 60, but they look like an 80-year-old. Then you're like, no, there's more to life. You need to, when in the morning, when you wake up, get a warm water towel, put it in your face, massage your facial muscles, do facial exercises so that you don't really look old. So they are able to do that, and put on a makeup. If you have makeup, put it on and you look beautiful. So,
yeah.
Yes. And what I tell them, you can never go back, either you like it or not. But then how do you embrace the new you? Positively or negatively? So you choose. So it's your choice. You choose and say, I have to go through this. My grandma passed through it. My mother has gone through it. So even me, I can do that. Yes.
Yes. Now the men that you had, yes, I love that. The men that you had come to the march and the men you had come to your recent meeting, what sort of things were they saying?
For them, they were so surprised. I have one of the male staff here. He can talk to you and share with you what it was. It's called Joseph. Joseph, you can come in and share the men's aspect here, because I have a man on board.
Yay.
Yes, I work with men here. I have Alan, I have Joseph.
Hi, Joseph. Hi, Joseph. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's good to talk to you. What do you think? What do you think of this menopause thing?
Yes. It is something which they haven't embraced here, and we are trying to bring it out to the general public, and we're trying to see that the men get engaged and try also to support it, though men are shying away from it. But again, there are some different aspects we bring in, because they also need to understand that there is andropause for them. And then when they hear about andropause, they are like, oh, it's something which also affects us. And then men are going to ask, when does it happen? So if you tell them it happens at 70 years plus, they are like, we are still on board, we are still okay. And then usually what we are seeing is men are just going into the young girls when you see in Uganda, when a man gets to 40, 45, they go in for the young girls. They leave their wives at home, and then they are in bars and they are doing whatever they are doing, and they are engaged with young girls. So that's why you see they will tell you that the teenage pregnancies are high. Men are not looked at. And when you go into the villages, you'll find that every girl will tell you, I don't know the father of the kid. But again, when you go deep and look for the father, and then you'll find out that these older men who just went to do work, they get the girls pregnant and run away. So it's something which is still tricky on our side, but we are getting there, and then we are engaging actually the men to see that they get involved and work with the women, and so that they partner with women so that women can go through what they are going through.
Yeah.
This
is interesting because that fear that you're getting older, and if you're married and you're going to lose your husband because of your age, happens in the West too. But it sounds like it's a really, that fear, it seems like it's probably a lot more strong for women in Uganda because there is this situation where men stray. Like that's just sort of a societal issue. It must make it harder. Irene, it must make it harder if you know that men stray. Yeah.
Yes. So it scares a lot the women, and then you'll find many women getting into depression, and they're getting into stress. So then you'll find that many women are going to go into the situation of becoming single mothers. So with that anger, they will just leave the families and take their children. So you'll find the men going into another marriage. And then when the wife also clocks in menopause, then they still go back. Because me, I have an uncle who just gave us 2 kids. And now I call these kids my cousin. And he gave birth, we try to calculate it, and this guy gave birth around 65. So the kids, we are now looking after the kids, but he can't. So he's in the village, he's relaxed. Okay. And he says, bring my kids, I want to see them. We take them, and then after we have to take the kids to school. Okay. So
he's not,
the burden is on us.
Yes, he's abandoning kids. Irene, what is everyone? Oh, Irene's doesn't have her things in.
Yeah.
Irene, what does everyone think? I was asking you a question, but I realized you don't have the earphones in.
Yes.
What does everyone think about you spending so much time talking about menopause, your friends and family? What did they think?
That's a good one. Actually, they tell me this. Sometimes they call me Menopause. That's like a nickname, Menopause. You know, I'm like, guys, sometimes they call they. So I remember one of my close friends. She asked me, Irene, why did you pick interest in this? Funny, like for him, he didn't know all the medical conditions that you see. Why did you choose menopause? Still, I told him the story about my mom, but still they are surprised, and they're like, how do you even look up at menopause? You are still young, you're not yet menopausal. So I'm like, that is what I love to do. This is what I love the most. I love to work with women. I want to work with elderly women that I can call auntie or moms. I feel comfortable than a young woman because they tend to be good listeners, and sometimes they follow what you are telling them to do. So that's how sometimes they call me menopausal. So I'm used. So it's part of life now. Yeah.
And you'll be ready when you go through it,
Yes.
right?
Because
You'll
I'm
be all
going there.
prepared. Yeah.
Yes, I will be ready.
Yeah. And tell me,
I'm already taking.
sorry,
Hello?
sorry.
I'm already taking my foods. I'm already taking my nutritional supplements.
Good.
Hello?
Good.
Yeah, because I gave birth. So every time you give birth, the kid takes away all your calcium and all other nutrients. So I need to replace early so that I don't have those symptoms.
Amazing.
Hopefully, they will
Now-
not strike me. Anyway.
Tell me what happened with your mom. Like, how long was she in menopause, and did she get better after a while?
Yes, actually, she still has a few symptoms, like sometimes the mood swing, but she's 64 now, so she's fine. She doesn't have any issue. The only problem we have with her is more of osteoporosis. So I've put her on supplements, which is really helpful because she no longer cries of any bone problems, and then she was getting arthritis as well. So we've put her on if you feel a lot of pain, use warm water towels, put around the joints which are painful, and then look at her. We are almost the same now. She looks younger.
Okay.
Yet she's 64. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's great. So
Yeah.
well, it's so great to talk to you. I hope we keep in touch, and I want you to keep me posted on everything that's happening in Uganda. And good luck with all your
Yes.
work. Like, it's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Sorry about that. So what we're doing right now, we want to our youth organization, because Women's Health Foundation has also been taking care of the reproductive women. So we are registering Menopause Uganda to see it's our organization, then for it to be focusing more on menopause. So Women's Health Foundation, yes. And then we are also we are hoping to start up a clinic, a menopausal clinic for these women. And if we can call in gynecologists to just do some services, and if we ever get people who can support us with the equipment from abroad, or those countries where they don't have where to put the equipment, if they can ship it, if they can tell us and we ship it here, so that we can have a menopausal center for these women where they can come in and do exercises, get HRT if they can, and we see how life goes, Yeah, I believe, I'm positive, and I believe that we'll take this to the Ministry of Health. They will listen to us the next time we go, and then if we've drafted well our policies, and then we see how we can do the movement.
Amazing.
Actually, when we're doing our first menopausal walk, because we had the Minister for Lands, she was our chief worker. We had the World Health Organization in Uganda. They were also there. And then the Minister of Health, they sent us someone who came in late, but then at least they were engaged. So we hope next year we could do another movement. It might not be in Kampala. It might be in another district, because we have many districts, and then we go to the villages, and then we see if everywhere will go, the more they will get to know that we make noise about menopause. I'm sure it will stick in their heads, and then they'll be like, yes, we really need to take care of this health part of women. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is our goal, and hopefully God helps us that we'll achieve it.
Okay, that's great, Irene.
And thank you, Anne.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, thank you, Anne, for inviting us and believing in our work. Thank you.
Okay,
bye-bye,
let's stay in touch. Bye.
Hope to hear from you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.